Don, thanks for coming back on the program.
Great to be back on the program, and my best to your listeners.
So tell us, what is central at issue for Granite Staters, for people across the country who are listening? Why is it time to put you in that seat in the United States Senate and tell Hassan to find another gig?
Well, it's clear to me after 2 years on the campaign trail and hitting every town and city that Granite Staters today are worried about inflation and what inflation has done to their ability to afford the necessities in life to be able to take care of their families. Retirees are coming out of retirement, going back to work. Moms and dads are struggling with heating and eating. And this is just a huge, huge problem. They're also worried about the opioid crisis, the fact that, most of our police departments are undermanned. A lot of police departments, fire departments can't afford gas. We have a huge diesel shortage across this country. New England is in short supply of natural gas, and we expect to go into blackouts in December and January. That's all being predicted, and people aren't being forewarned accordingly. Senator Hassan is completely ignoring these issues, for other lesser priorities to keep, the focus off of everything that she's done to support Joe Biden's failed and broken energy policies, border policies, out of control spending, everything that has been done that, to create this hardship. I am a political outsider. I am beholden to no one. I did not accept any special interest lobbyists or political wealthy elite money. I am going down to work for people of New Hampshire to be their ambassador and conduit for change, with the idea of changing what goes on in Washington, D.C. to focus on working for the people and not for special interests and lobbyists. And that is the fundamental difference between her and I. She refuses to meet. She won't debate unless the debate is rigged in her favor. We saw that yesterday at NHPR. Just unbelievable. She does Zoom calls for engagement with voters. She just did a spaghetti dinner Zoom call. I'm not sure how you do that, but she tried to execute it. I've done over 60 town halls and house parties. Last night I did a house party in Northampton with 125 people, Democrats, Independents, Republicans, Libertarians, Free Staters, everybody in there pitching in, working hard to change our representation in Washington, D.C. and the United States Senate, because Maggie Hassan is, quite frankly, a disaster and is not working for the people.
General, I'm curious. Some of these polls that are coming out are showing this race super tight. I'm assuming you guys have internal polls that you also are looking at. Does that comport? Are the trend lines moving in your direction? What gets you over the top to win this election?
So, everything is moving in our direction, and we have established the momentum. She has stalled. She's on the defensive. She's trying to, avoid contact, minimize her profile so that she can't be pinned down by anybody on any issue that, has been hurting Granite Staters. Our momentum is increasing, has increased. And, that's hard to get, but once you get it, it's very difficult to stop. She has no plan to stop it because she has no ground game. All she has is $30 million that she spent on top-down ads that are all lies. We're peeling those apart. And what I do need from people is I do need money, right? I'm not an establishment guy. I am grateful for Rick Scott's support and Ronna McDaniel's support. But as everyone knows, Mitch McConnell's taken a lot of money away from us, unfortunately, that we were counting on for ads. So anything helps us at DonBolduc.com. Anything will help us pay for these ads that we need to push out over the next 11 days to counter all her lies.
Oh, I'd encourage everybody to go to DonBolduc.com and make sure you make your donations. You mentioned something I want to follow up on there. Mitch McConnell. I mean, this guy is infuriating to many of our listeners. You have a winnable race right there. Did he give you any reason for why he was not going to be giving you the support that he had claimed he was?
No, there's no reason for it. Never got an explanation. We heard it just like everybody else when it was reported on, when it was announced and reported on. But we've had a groundswell of support as a result of that, because people want change. They want Republicans in there. They want the Democrats out who they identify with as causing all the hardship for Granite Staters and Americans. So, we're going to win this, and we're going to win it without him. And that's just the way it's going to go. And we're going to be grateful for all the help that we get from the people who are tired of having their elections defined by money and power, and want people in there with character and integrity.
And Don, is there anywhere, if I asked you to tell us where Maggie Hassan has stood up to the Biden Democrat apparatus, broken from them on a core issue, does that exist?
It doesn't exist. It does not exist. It exists in her lies. It exists in in her own imagination, where she tries to fool people with her ads, which is very, very unfortunate. She's done nothing about the border, nothing about illegal immigration, nothing about opioid crisis. She has been silent about the defunding of police. She has created a crisis of high crime across this nation because of her inaction, inability to stand up. She's responsible for spending an additional $5.2 trillion from March to August. She has no shame. In August, she failed. She voted no for opening the spigot on petroleum so we could get more energy out. She voted no on that. She voted no on keeping Title 42 in place. She voted no on getting rid of the 87,000 IRS agents. And, just one thing after another to continue to hurt people based off of Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer's very, very damaging agenda.
The majority of people in New Hampshire are independent. That means that elections can swing many different directions. Democrats and Republicans are a minority compared to independents. What do you think is going to motivate independents the most to break for you over the next 11 days and send Senator Hassan home and flip this seat to the Republican Party?
It's her performance, and her inability to campaign the Granite State way, hiding from people, not explaining, getting caught in lies, just doing what she's doing, just being a career politician, constantly siding with special interests and lobbyists and very wealthy, and then not facing people, and it's a stark comparison to what I'm doing out there on the ground every day, 5 events, talking to people, whether they're independents, Democrats, doesn't matter. I just left a meeting with, Granite State recovery folks, and, they were lamenting about the terrible job that she's done in supporting the opioid crisis, and where the rubber meets the road, the people that have to do the job, and she doesn't even meet with them. I meet with them. I meet with the disabled community that's been hurt by her policies, the mental health community that's been hurt by her policies, and the addiction community. And, just doing her job the way she's been doing it is going to sway independents to my side, because they know, listen, I'm not bought and paid for. I've run a grassroots campaign, and I will fight for them, and I will do my job for the people.
Dom, where should folks go again to donate to help out?
They should go to donbolduc.com, donbolduc.com. Please help me out any way you can. I am humbled by your support. I realize this is an economically tough time, but anything helps, and I would appreciate the help against this, a career politician machine that's only been hurting us.
Amen. DonBalduc.com. You just heard it from him. Put New Hampshire back in the Republican camp when it comes to the Senate. He can do it. He will do it with your support. Thanks, Don.